happy Self Love Sunday. I am Tarnisha Mosash, your host of Self Love Sundays with Sass. I am your vision strategist coach who comes every single Sunday so we can talk about all the ways in which we can better our best. And let me tell you, yesterday I just got back from an 8 hour solo dolo road trip, which I left last Friday and drove to North Carolina. My daughter's godmother, her son is graduating from high school, and I was also going to stay a week. I was going to drive from there, from Charlotte to Raleigh area of North Carolina to stay with my aunt for the week. Because as for some of you who've been around for a while, you know at the beginning of the year, my cousin passed away at 36 years old from a heart attack. If you've been around, you've heard me talk about her story a little bit, and her birthday was June 18th. And I didn't want my aunt to spend, her birthday, just she wasn't going to be totally by herself. Like, her dad was coming, her daughter's dad was coming, and her other daughter, because she has another daughter, was coming. And then also my cousin left two daughters in her passing, so she wouldn't be alone. And I also knew that having more family could help her throughout that week. It doesn't make anything better, but I know it can help. But let me tell you something. Let's get back to this road trip because it was magical for me driving to Charlotte. So for those of you who know, I'm in Pennsylvania, so driving to Charlotte, it was about probably like an 8 hour trip altogether of just me, my thoughts, meditation. So I took that time because I don't get a lot of time away where it could just be me. I took that time to really kind of dig deep within me. And I'll describe more of that. But what I did not expect this, is running into someone from my past who the last time they saw me in person, completely, and I'll say this because people say this and we'll get into it more, completely broken and devastated the last time that I saw this particular person. And it's so interesting when you run into your past, like so it's been probably like 10 years. And so when you run into your past, it is just so interesting, and we'll get into it. But instead of tension throughout all of this, it wasn't that for me. It just really shocked me. All of it shocked me. Every mile I drove shocked me. Getting to the graduation, helping my daughter's godmother out with getting the things together, being around friends who I haven't been around for a very long time, allowing myself to be present in the moment, because a lot of times I can be very busy and I'm not present. So just to get present with them, just to let my hair down because I work a lot. And so again, why was it that I help high achieving women design a life that they love? Because I understand that life. And so I'm just in this phase of designing the life so that I can love it. It's one thing to be high achieving, high functioning, and do the things. It's another thing to be that and not to like it, not to enjoy it, not to have true clarity of vision, not to be connected mind, body, and soul. So you're numb all the time and you're not present, and you're constantly feeling anxiety or depression. Completely different states of being. And so the truth is, what I saw in that moment is like, okay, I can see the work. And so we're going to talk about it because I think that it's super important. And I want to be clear that this episode is probably more of a moment of reflection for me, but it's also an invitation to see your own growth in real time. And so I hope that you stick around with me this segment and just, work with me as I describe how everything goes, because the drive for me, at first it was like, I could have driven with other people. I just didn't want that. I just wanted to be by myself. I just wanted to know what it felt like to be on the open road. But I also took that time to listen to what is now, as soon as I said I was going to tell you guys who it was I was listening to, it completely went out of my mind, but it's going to come back. I took the time to listen to meditation. So it was car meditation. I was using the car basically to do the meditation, and I just kind of like prayed and surrendered to the moment. And I was really asking God on the way down. So as I'm doing these meditations, I'm asking God to open my heart, to allow me to not be blessed by being there, but also be a blessing to those wherever I stop, wherever I go, even if I stopped at, a rest stop. If you allow me to be a blessing every place my foot my feet tread this week. Allow me to be a blessing. And I was praying for the capacity, and I'm sharing this with you guys because I hope you do the same. I was praying for the capacity as I went into the spaces that I was going to go into, that I have the capacity for everything that's there, because it can feel very heavy. So while I was doing the meditations, was allowing myself to get clear of anything that was within my nervous system, and to settle down my nervous system so that I can fully be present. See, a lot of times we don't take the time to go within and really just calm our system, so that when we go into these spaces, it's not about what I can take from it, what I can glean from it, but also what you can give from it, give to it. And so what I've learned is that reciprocity happens as a result of that. So I'm not invalidating that you're just supposed to go and give and not give anything back. Again, it's about setting your intention. My intention was to be a blessing as I am blessed that entire week. And so it was just really something, because I realized during that ride how disconnected I was really from my emotions, from myself. And I just needed that moment to kind of reconnect and kind of breathe in my system the things that I wanted for myself, the things that I wanted to feel, because it's all about feeling good now. Please write that down. It's all about feeling good now. How can I feel good now? So it was all about that for me, even as I was driving. And so I know a lot of times people think, oh, getting in solitude, it can pull you away. No, it actually helps you to realign with yourself. It's where you kind of just dig deeper within your heart and your soul and say, what is it that I really want? Where is it that I really desire to be? How do I want to show up? How do I want to feel when I get there? How do I want to feel in this present moment? And so a lot of times we are scared as individuals of the unknown, and people don't realize what the unknown is. So I'm going to tell you, the unknown is just the present, because most times we live based upon the past. And so we wake up every morning bringing in what happened yesterday, or what happened 5 years ago, what happened 10 years ago. So we're never fully present. The unknown is getting present. It's being able to leave the past in the past, not think about the future, but just be here right now, in this moment, in this moment, in this moment, because that's the unknown. You don't know what it's going to be in the present moment. And a lot of people fear that, and never realizing that if you can just get clear to the present moment, it's going to shape every step that you're going to do going forward. And that's what I was allowing myself to do and be. But this is where it gets real, y'all. So I go to this grad. Now let me be very, very clear about my past. If you've been around for a while, last year it was 20. This is 2025. So I would say this was 2023 when I wrote this book, and it's called Finding Your Way: 7 Ways to Love and Hear Yourself. And my past, aka the man, is in this book. And what happened back then is it was a bad breakup. So I was married before, and this was the man that I was seeing, right before my marriage ended. I'm very honest and candid about that. And him and we had a long standing history. Like, this is somebody I had a history with since I was probably 18 years old. A long standing history. That's the only way I'm gonna describe that. And that's all you're getting from me on that today, okay? So, long-standing history, and we decided at one point to try to be together, and it was bad. It was. There's no other way to describe it but bad. There was lots and lots of love, and lots of toxicity, and lots of all the bad, anything and everything you can describe or think of. That's what it was. Um, and it was surreal for me, because so during that time he was seeing someone else. Like, okay, so people want to he was cheating. Like, people love the drama of it all, so let me give you the drama of it all. He was cheating with someone else, and this person lived in Connecticut. I found out about the cheating, and it was just, we were back and forth. It was a lot of craziness. Just use your imagination, child. It was a lot of craziness, and we ended up breaking up for good. For Despite, like, it was so many things during that. You just got to pick up the book to read about all of the things. And then you can find it on Amazon and on my website www.mosas.com. You can find it there. It was a lot. It was a lot of things. And what happened was, after him and I had broken up, I had never expected. Let me just tell the truth, because everybody is not truthful. I want to tell you, the truth. I never expected him to marry this girl. Like I expect, like he cheated on me. We have been through a lot, honey. So I expected him to move on. I just never saw him taking that step. And I didn't know anything about it. So when we broke up, I had reached out to all of my friends and I was like, listen, don't tell me anything about him. I don't want to hear anything about him. I don't want to know anything about him. I knew I needed time to heal because this was a different kind of love for me. Like the way I love this man, I had never really loved nobody like that before. And it was different. It was deep and it was just a lot. And this it came to me from it came to me in a very hurtful way when he had gotten married, and I just remember it was some time after we had broken up, but it was just I just remember the spiral I went down. It was a spiral. Okay, I went down a spiral when I found out he married her. I was like, well, I couldn't believe it. I like whatever. Say what you want, judge me, judge your mammy, but it was true. It's how I felt, and it was like, wow, I couldn't believe it. I was devastated. I was really, really like just deeply hurt, broken, whatever you want to call those things. And so this is the why I'm sharing this story is because after all of that, the last time he knew anything about me, or most people knew anything about me when it became when it was about him, was I was like devastated, broken, sad, crying, upset, just all of the things. And I'm always very truthful though, like I'll get truthful about it afterwards. So I never expected to see him again. I know that sounds strange. We run around similar circles, but his personality is the type of guy, like he doesn't really show up to things like that. Like he's not the cookout guy. He's just not that guy. I mean, the guy I remember. Okay. And so when he pulled up, I saw him. It is so crazy because the old me would have been triggered, would have been like, oh my God, like I don't want to see him. I don't want to know him. You want to know something, y'all? This is real. I did not expect how I felt when I saw him. And we kind of like merged in the kitchen. It's a very strange story because the when I first met him when I was like 18 years old, I think I was like 18, we met at a similar way. We met at a cookout, and it was actually the same person's cookout we met at. So it was like really surreal and strange. And when we saw each other in the kitchen, he hugged me, I hugged him back, and he was like, "How are you doing?" And I said, "Fine." Now let me tell you something. I did not expect to feel what I felt after that. I thought I was just gonna be like put off or whatever. No, no, y'all. How about I felt nothing but love? Nothing but love. Nothing but love. I'm telling you and it was so confusing for me. Like I ain't gonna lie to you. Like when it happened, I was very confused by it. I was very confused by my emotions. Very confused by it. Like to the point where I was saying to one of my friends, like, oh, I don't even like the way I feel right now. Like I was very confused about it. And so when I left, and again, being on the road, because I left Charlotte, remember, I was driving after the graduation party, I was driving to Raleigh, North Carolina area. And in the car, it hit me. It was really confirmation from all the work that I had done. You know how sometimes people are like, well, how do you know you're over something? How do you know you healed? It's when you get back to love. It's when you get back to love. I felt nothing but love for him. I felt nothing but love for the situation. I felt nothing but love that we can be in that arena, in that environment, and there was not an ounce of bitterness, not an ounce of hate. And I can feel myself getting emotional even right now as I'm telling you guys. I felt nothing but love for him. I wanted him to be well. I wanted him to be happy, because that's what I feel about me. And so it's like, you're healing when peace becomes your first response instead of pain. I didn't feel any pain at all. I felt nothing but peace. And I was like, yo, I was in the car crying, y'all, on the radio. I can feel it right now. Oh, I said I'm not going to cry in this video. Okay, we'll get through this. Um, because after that situation, I really got into myself. I got into personal development. I got into spiritual development. I got into business development. Like I really developed myself. I really just got into me and asked myself some questions. What about me, hats had those things into my life. Like, what about, I didn't blame him. I didn't go into this, it was his fault and he did those things to me. No, I went into, if I love myself, and I say I love myself and I'm the CEO of my life, I have to be accountable for all things me. That means like, yo, why did you allow that? Why was this in your life like that? Why did that happen like that? Why were you acting the way you acting? Because see, everybody don't want to be real. I'm the girl. I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm not the girl that you can come to and be like, oh, everything was everybody else. I'm the girl that you're gonna have to come to, and I'm like, okay, so tell me what happened with your part. I had to own all the things that I did, that I allowed, that I said, the way I moved, the way I maneuvered. I had to own it. I had to really get deeper. And I know this is the point in the video where everybody want to turn off. It's like, oh no, they want me to be in hatred, honey. They want me to be in hell. I don't believe in that. I believe that you can have heaven right here on earth, and how you can achieve heaven on earth is really coming to love yourself. And it's saying, I love myself enough to hold myself accountable to all the pains and the pleasures in my life. What, listen, if I'm the CEO, that means I can hire and fire accordingly. Why did I hire that? Why did I not fire that? Like, why? What happened? What's going on with me? So it was a moment of reflection of how far I had came. The last time he saw me, I wasn't a business owner. I mean, I was teaching fitness at the time, but I wasn't a business owner. I wasn't an author. I hadn't written books. I hadn't become the leader that you see to get today. I hadn't become the coach that you see today. And it was like, yo, you did the work. Like, it was that feeling that came over me. Like, I was so proud of who I had stepped into and who I allowed myself to become, and all the books that I read and all the coaching that I invested in. It was like, it really paid off, because the one thing that has always been my character trait, if you want to say it, is my heart. I have a big heart, and I love hard. I love loud. I love proud. I just, I'm that girl. And so for me, it was that realization, like, no, you're still that girl. And it was beautiful. It was a moment of beauty. It was a moment of, and I'm sure he's come really far too. I didn't ask, we didn't talk after that. It wasn't a conversation. It was awkward. I ain't gonna lie. Like, I had to keep like kind of walking back and forth, like past him and stuff like that. It was a little awkward, but still in it all, I felt nothing but love. And I just thank God. I thank the Lord that I could get to that space and be in that space and feel nothing. Because the truth of the matter is, when you really love someone, love, it's real. And no matter what happens, you kind of still feel that. And so I felt nothing but that. So it was a very, very beautiful moment. It was a beautiful exchange I felt. And even now, I feel nothing but gratitude and thankful that God, ushered me in, because it was like, what do you do when you're confronted with your past, and in a traumatizing past at that? And God allowed me to love. He allowed me to love. He allowed me to feel love. It was so beautiful. And so leaving from that, and then going into the week, because I was going to be with my aunt again, who's still grieving the loss of my cousin, and my cousin is her oldest daughter. And so I knew this week was going to be really hard. As someone who has buried two sons, getting through the first year is really, really tough. And it doesn't mean that now, even though the oldest son was passed away in 2010, it doesn't mean that even now that it's so much easier. No, it's that, with time, you learn how to cope and to give yourself what you need. The first year, you don't know what you need. You just really don't. You have no clue, You have no clue what you need. So getting through the first was really hard. And so that's why for me, I was so thankful to the Lord to allow me to go down there, to drive and to be with her. And I didn't try to come with answers. Like, no, I came with love. Don't you get it? I came with a listening heart. I came because I asked God for the capacity. And it's so here's the other thing. Remember, I told you on the ride down, I was doing the meditations, and it's Dr. Joe Dispenza. That's what it is, Dr. Joe Dispenza. I was doing the meditations, and I was asking God to open my heart. Isn't it interesting that be careful what you ask for? Asking to open my heart, and then my past greeted me in my present, right? So that was another interesting point. And I was like, wow, it was, again, it's so beautiful. And sometimes I think we always believe that when we show up for people, we got to show up with answers. No, just show up with the capacity to love. Show up with your tank empty so that, and what I mean by your tank empty, meaning that I was so filled with love, everything was going to be overflow. So I didn't come trying to glean anything from her. I just came just to give and to provide and to be there for her so that she can get off work and she didn't have to run to get my cousins and she didn't have to worry about feeding them. She didn't have to worry about cleaning up. I did those things and I would, make her coffee, her tea for, she doesn't like coffee. She'd make her tea for her. And just so she could feel like she just could just give herself a moment, just to go get a pedicure. Because again, she had been a mom, her daughters were grown. Now she's raising a 12 and a 3-year old. It's crazy. So I just want you to know that sometimes that's all people really need is to feel safe, to be seen and heard, and that's all I wanted, and just to pour into my little cousins because that 12-year old is something else, child. This generation is something else, okay? But I wanted to create beautiful moments with her, and because her mom is my cousin and me, I don't know how it happened. It's like we were really like twins, just had different mothers. We were really the same, and even the way we parented was the same. So I wanted to give her some of that feel, just to give her just a little mist of joy in the pain because there's for her 12-year-old daughter, she's actually her biological dad passed away, I want to say about 4 years ago, and so then her mom, just this year passed away. And so just imagine 12 with no parents. My heart bleeds for her. And although my aunt is doing a wonderful job, it's still something, I know that has to be inside of her that's feeling that way. So I just wanted to show up in that capacity. And so I just want to say this too, because I know I said I love loud, but love sometimes isn't always loud. It's that still quietness where you could just get present and just give gentle care and just hold space. Because words sometimes aren't enough and they're not going to be enough. So just showing up. And here's how you get there by doing the work on you. I'm able to show up for people the way I am now, to coach the way I do now, to run my accountability community the way I do now, to love my children the way I do now, to love my friends the way I do now, because I did the work. I did the hard work of looking in the mirror and saying, where did you cause pain and hurt in people's lives? Because everybody loves to believe that they never did anything and they never caused her. Yes, I did. And I'm sure I hurt that man too. But nobody else wants to be honest about it. You know what I'm saying? And now, let me be clear. Cheating is not just like when I cheated before. I didn't cheat because of what that person did. I cheated because I wanted to. Everybody doesn't want to own their things. Own your stuff. You know how you can really heal is when you really get honest with yourself. You have to get deep, dirty, dog down in the mud, honest with you and how you maneuver and how you did things. Now, when somebody does something, I'm not owning that. No, but I can own my peace. I can own that we hurt each other. I can own that we caused each other pain. Now I can say that maybe he did a little bit more damage. I'm gonna say that. And I did my work though. I didn't go on this tirade of being bitter. I got better. And I want you to hear that today because it's possible for you. When you know that it's possible, that every situation that you are in, it doesn't have to stay that way. You don't have to stay the same. You can heal, you can be whole, you can get present, you can love again. There is so much beautiful love out here. There's so many beautiful men, there's so many beautiful women. And you keep talking about there's pee in the pool because you're peeing in it. You're refusing to get your help. You're refusing to stop listening to the people who are putting that in your environment. I get around some of the most beautiful people. Why? Because I go to the most beautiful communities. When I was in Eric Thomas, E.T. the hip hop, the E.T. the hip hop preacher, for those of you who may or may not know him, when I got in his community, I met the most beautiful people that were still, well, like we're still aces today. Okay. Like we're still tied in and locked in today. I got into Tony Robbins' community, the most beautiful people, still friends with today. And now opening myself up to Dr. Joe Dispenza, because again, what I want to bring to the market in terms of this next thing that I'm working on, which you guys heard me talk about it last week, working on getting women in a room now so we can get present, because I realize we got to get off Zoom. We have to get out of our homes. We have to get away from our phones and we have to get present to connect back to ourselves. So bringing another element into that, again, I'm going to put myself through it before I bring anybody else through it, because I want people to feel this feeling of exhilaration, this feeling of love, this feeling of joy. It's not going to be rainbows and unicorns and sunshine every day, all day. No, I get to experience this 97% of the time. 97% of the time I get to feel this exhilaration, this love, this glow, this like, oh my God, thank you, Lord, for where you have brought me through and to, so I can get here, so I can show high achieving women how to connect back so they can feel everything that I'm feeling. So they can have the moment when they're confronted with their past into their present, and you can feel nothing but love and nothing but joy and nothing but peace in the middle of it. It's such a beautiful thing. So this week really reminded me how far I've came, not just in what I've accomplished, but who I've become. This is what I'll be talking about when I say, who are you becoming? I'm becoming a pillar of love. I'm becoming a servant leader. I'm becoming someone that is going to speak to the masses on how to have the breakthrough through the breakup, and how to get to the other side, and how to design a life that they love so they can start loving their life, and they can take these road trips so they can connect back into themselves. I'm more grounded, I'm more grateful, I'm more aligned with my purpose than ever before. I'm more in love with my life, I'm more in love with the Lord, I'm more in love with just being able to show up the way I am. And this didn't happen overnight. This came, listen, let me tell you why this happened. Because I was like, well, I made a decision. It was I promise you, right now, just commit to make a decision. I made a decision. I was never going to allow that in my life again. I was never going to be the way that I was. I made a decision that I was going to love my life. I made a decision that every step that I take, everywhere that I tread, I was going to bring this light and this love that God had anointed me with in the space. I made a decision that my sons, although no longer living on this earth, they were going to live through me in the way that I show up. I made a choice that I was going to show up in love. I made a choice. I made a choice to love me. I made a decision, and then I got busy. I got committed to my healing. I got committed to my faith. And I made the decision to keep showing up, even though it didn't feel that way, even though I never saw myself being here. You think 10 years ago I saw myself being here? Absolutely not. I never in a million years thought I would be an author. Never in a million years thought that I would be coaching people. I never saw this for me. But because I made one decision, because most of you don't understand, you're one decision away. You can't quit now. I had to tell myself that. You know how many times I wanted to quit? You know how many times I wanted to turn around? You know how many times, even now, when I'm trying to build this community, and I'm like, where are the people, Lord, that you assigned to me? Where are the people that know my voice and know that I'm the one that's going to help guide them to do this, to help them connect back to themselves, mind, body, and spirit, to help them design a life that they love, hold them account. Where are they? Even though it's just like I didn't see it. Even though sometimes I don't feel it, I know it's coming, and I don't quit because I know that I am designed for this. I'm designed to win at this. And so my question for you is, what are you designed to win at today? What is it? And just know you don't have to be perfect. I wasn't perfect. Mistake after mistake after mistake. You don't have to be perfect. You have to get present. You don't have to be perfect. You got to get present in every small choice you make every single day. You have to it has to be in alignment with who you say you want to become. It has to be in alignment with your growth and your calling. You have to know it. It counts. And just that's why I talk about that 1% daily growth. That's why my community is called 1% Nation. What is that one thing you're going to do every single day? Every single day. And I'm going to just say this too, gratitude doesn't erase pain. I know we think that it doesn't. It transforms it. Gratitude doesn't erase the pain, baby. It transforms it. It transmutes it into the most beautiful, powerful person you could ever wish to become if you decide to do it. And growth isn't about who's watching. I had to learn that because I was growing under the dirt. Do you hear me? On my knees, crying and just pleading and just like all the things. It's about who you're becoming when no one's looking. When nobody is watching, what are you doing? When nobody is sitting behind you, are you in a coaching environment? Are you in a therapeutic environment? Are you reading the books? Are you taking time out to journal? Are you getting into you? Are you asking yourself, what are you feeling today? What is it that I want to achieve today? Do you wake up eager for the day? Do you say that everything is always working out for me because it is? Do you make the choice to do the hard thing? And sometimes the hard thing is just getting out of bed. Do you make the choice to do the hard thing to move your body to get into flow? Do you make the choice to do the hard things and say, I'm going to hold myself accountable? Because everything that is within my energy field, with everything that's within my life, I have a choice. I can make a choice to either let it stay or let it go. It's all a choice. And I'm going to say that again, gratitude doesn't erase pain, it transforms it, it transmutes it. It's so beautiful. And growth isn't about who is watching. It's about what you're doing when no one else is watching. When no one is watching me, you wouldn't believe my TV is not turned on. Sometimes I can admit I can like aimlessly scroll, but for the most part, I'm studying, I'm reading, I'm growing, I'm committing, I'm meditating. I am committed to my anointing, to my calling. I'm working on it. I'm speaking to crowds, even though the crowds aren't here yet. Do you understand me? I'm speaking even though I can feel them. That's why I'm always so emotional. I can feel it. I know it's on its way to me. All I got to do is just relax and allow it. For those of you who know where I got that from, all I have to do is relax and allow it and step away from the anxiety and the fear. And so everything is always working out for me. Everybody who is supposed to come is coming. My business is going to be a success. My career is going to be a success. I am a great mother. I'm a great being. Everything begins and ends with love. And I am designed to win. I am called to connect back to myself, mind, body, and spirit. And when I connect back to myself, I know that my job is just to feel good now. My job is just to relax and allow. I can do this with ease. I don't always have to be the strong one. Being strong, the strength is in the relaxation. I can reset and relax my nervous system. It's all going to work out in the end. I don't have to be perfect. I can be perfectly imperfect and guide myself to the best place of feeling good right now. And it is all coming. The abundance, the love, it's all here for me. All I have to do is continue to put one foot in front of the other and take one small step every single day to align myself with the actions to make sure that it is going to happen, because it is great to wish, to hope, to love, and to dream. And it is everything when I put action behind it, because it cannot come and it cannot be unless I put one step in front of the other, unless I continue to do the work. And so I appreciate you for being here with me. Thank you so much for listening with me. I hope that you took a lot of nuggets from this. And if this message spoke to your heart, please like, share, and subscribe. I'm looking to grow my YouTube channel. And I'm looking to, find my tribe. Where are my people at that are looking, to connect back? Where are my high? Listen, I get it. My high achieving, my high achieving, always on the go, go, go. Women who are looking to reconnect to themselves, looking to even connect, because I had to realize I was never connected to myself. And there was points along the way as I climbed the ladder and I got to the next level, I would disconnect again, and then I had to reconnect. And so whether you're looking to connect or reconnect mind, body, and spirit, so that you can actually design a life that is that here's the thing, design a life that you love, not a life that someone told you had to be. If I listened to all the things that people told me that I should have, shouldn't do, I would have been angry, bitter, mad, upset when my past was in my present. And I'm so glad. I'm so glad that I went to the way, the truth, and the light, and so that that did not happen. And so the way that had to do that is I had to not listen to my mother, my father, my friends, and I had to connect back to my soul, connect to me, so that I can move the way I'm supposed to, so I can be here right now like this today, and that I love my life. I got up this morning, and you want to know the luxury of it? I took my time. I meditated, then I got out the bed and I brushed my teeth and I took my shower and I put my lotion on and I came down and I did this talk. But it's such a place of ease and beauty and love. I designed a life that I love. So now that I'm loving life, everything that's supposed to come to me, everything that's supposed to attract to me is coming here and it's coming now, because it already is All I have to do is continue to relax, and have faith in it. And so I'm relaxing and having faith in the fact that you're going to share this video and you're going to send it out, and that my YouTube channel is going to grow, and that we're going to find each other. So I hope you have a wonderful rest of your Sunday, and I will talk to you next week. Bye now.